Hey everybody, it's Brad at Dayport Brothers LLC out in Versailles, Ohio. Going to do another walk around video followed by an operational video on this 2017 Bobcat S650 skid steer that came in and we're putting up for sale. Like always, I'll walk around, I'll talk about the features and functions, I'll get up close to everything, I'll show you everything that I see, tell you everything that I know, and of course we'll fire it up, run it through its paces, show you the pins are nice and tight up front, let you hear the engine, show you the hydraulics are strong. As always, if you were in the market for a used skid steer or a used piece of construction equipment or a used piece of ag equipment, please subscribe to the channel. Please like the video. Your likes and subscriptions help other people who are looking for equipment find our videos and find our machines, and we truly, truly do appreciate it. All right, like I said, this one is a 2017 S650 cab, heat, air, SJC controls, power Bobtach, 2,690 pound lift capacity. It's got a radio, 3,147 hours. So here in a little bit, we'll fire it up and we'll show you. The pins up here are actually really tight. I think they've probably been replaced at some point. And as I get up close to it here, you'll see the white is pretty bright. Starting to flake off a little bit around the edges and chip here and there. A couple little scratches here and there, but pretty straight machine. Taking a good look here at this loader arm, see there's some scuffs and scratches up here, a couple little spots where the paint's chipped on top, but that white paint is fairly bright. Loader arm's nice and straight on this side. Taking a look at our tires, front tire on this side, I'm gonna say we're at 20% or so tread life. I think I'm being pretty fair there. No real weather checking to speak of here on this one. Got a couple, for lack of better ways of saying it, scratches, scuffs in the tread bar there, but not really any weather checking. And taking a step back, looking at the front rim on this side, that orange paint's fairly bright, has some nicks and scratches around the edge. It's got some dirt caked in it there, but nothing out of the ordinary there. Rear tire on this side, honestly probably just a little bit worse tread than the front. I'm going to call it only 10% or so on this side. And looking here, again, no weather checking to speak of. There's some nicks in the tread bars and stuff there, but really not much weather checking. As you can see, there are a couple little nicks there. And the rear rim on this side, again, that orange paint is pretty bright, and really just a few little chips around the edge, a couple little nicks in the edge of the rim, but honestly pretty good. And then up here on the side of the frame is actually pretty darn nice. That white paint's pretty bright. Same thing down here, that gray's pretty good as well. Coming back here to the back, taking a look at this back corner. Again, that white paint is nice and bright. Decals are decent, couple little scuffs and stuff. A couple little paint chips starting to peel just around the edge, but pretty darn straight. Paint is flaking just a little bit right there on the back corner, but pretty darn straight really. Coming around to the back, taking a good look at that door. That orange paint is fairly bright, has some scuffs and scratches, has a little bit of a dent right there. I don't know how well you guys can see it. Maybe if I get to the side, there's a little bit of a dent there. This bottom back piece is actually pretty straight, has a one dent right there and some paint flaking off a little bit there. Up here on these back covers, that paint is starting to flake, especially around the corners and the edges. And then that mesh, you can see, is kind of got several dents in it there. Some scratches back here, but nothing out of the ordinary there. Taking a look at this rear corner here, again, that white paint is fairly bright. Some scuffs and scratches in the decals, some paint chips here and there, and kind of starting to flake just a little bit down here at the bottom, but otherwise fairly straight there. Looking at the rear tire on this side, again, I'm going to say it matches up pretty well to the rear tire on the other side, probably 10% or so. No weather checking, but again, has some nicks in the tread bars and stuff. And taking a look at the rear rim on this side there, you can see it's got a spot right there where it's kind of peeled back around that edge of that rim and some nicks at the bottom. Front tire on this side, honestly Probably about the same as the rear, maybe a little worse than the rear on this side even, as far as tread depth. No weather checking to speak of there. Little nick there in the sidewall, right in that heavy bead guard. And stepping back a little bit, looking at the rim on this side. Again, that paint is fairly bright. Couple little nicks down here, but pretty good really for that rim. And then taking a look at the side of the frame here, that white paint's pretty bright. A few little chips and nicks in the paint here and there, but not all scratchy. Same thing back there. Taking a look at the loader arm on this side. Again, that white paint is pretty bright. Couple chips and nicks here and there. I don't see anything that looks like it's been cracked or welded or plated on either loader arm or the back of that skid steer mount plate. Everything looks pretty square there. Coming around, ooh, about fell. It is slick out here. You'll see that here in a little bit when we do the operational video. When we lift that front end up, you'll see the tire spin quite a bit. It's just a solid sheet of ice out here. Bucket's nice and straight. I don't see any big bows in that bucket or anything. Just some scratches here and there. No major dents. Come back around to the back, take a look inside the engine. Okay. Just a little bit of moisture right there. That's just water dripping from up here. Yeah, just water dripped from up here. Same thing right there. Just a little water. Side of the block looks really dry. Here, everything looks good down here. Everything back there looks good. Yeah, that's already starting to dry up from us. We just ran it around a little bit ago and there's some water dripping up from up here, but it's already starting to dry off there. That engine's still warm from us running it around and testing everything. Back side of that door, you can see where that dent is. Kind of dented right there just a little bit in that middle section. We'll go around, take a look at the cab and the interior. All the glass looks good. I don't see any cracks or spider webbing in any of the glass. Top looks good. Down here, actually doesn't have too much of the paint chipped off, but there's some paint chip down here. It's actually better than most. That step is bent back a little bit, but some of that might be that bolt, might be, could probably straighten it out a little bit. It is bent a little bit. Some of that could be on that bolt, could be loosened and spun around. Here where you step in, a couple spots here where the paint's chipped off. Grip tape's in pretty decent shape though. And then down here, everything's pretty good in there. Taking a look at the seat. I don't see any cuts or tears there on that bottom cushion. Backrest looks pretty good as well. I'm not seeing any cuts or tears there. Take a look here at our joysticks. Everything looks pretty good here. All the buttons are good. Joystick itself's pretty good. Back, that trigger button on the back looks good. The protective boot, everything looks pretty good there. Over here. Same thing on this joystick. All the buttons look good there. That trigger button on the back looks good. Protective boot. Again, all the plastic looks fairly bright, not all faded out. HVAC controls. $31.47 on the hours. Power Bobtach button, that works. Selectable button for your joysticks, ISO or H pattern. Headliner. I don't know how well you guys can see it there. Fairly clean, a little bit of dirt back here, but not too bad. Looking here where these cylinders come up, everything looks good there. Doesn't look like anything's been cracked or welded or plated. Same thing here. And like I said earlier, back side of that skid steer mount plate, everything looks good there. All right, like I said, this one's a 2017 S650, $31.47 on the hours. Lots of photos on our website. That's listed down below in the description. If you have any questions, comment down below. We'll try to answer them for you. We'll fire it up, get right into the operational video.